Why you do that? Don't be fricker. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Look at that. Gentlemen, welcome back. We're on part 2 of doing exhaust on this Chevrolet 2024 Corvette ZO6. I know it is because it says so right there. Glad you guys came back. Whoever came back. The other guys, you're all missing out if you didn't come back. Ladies too, there are like 2 of you that watch some videos. In the last video, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch. We tore the back end of this Corvette apart to get at the exhaust. And yeah, that was a really fun time. I had a good time. But anyhow, let's not waste any time. Let's dive in and get after this exhaust because there is a lot to do. Yeah. A lot. Get started on this exhaust, I need some parts from the original exhaust here. A couple of the things I need the valves. These are like the bypass valves. So originally, like, the exhaust went in and it's more of a straight shot out those are the valves that open up. Like when I turned that knob on the dash and it got louder in the beginning, it was because those valves open up and it's more, the exhaust still goes through the muffler, and I don't know, like I'm assuming it's just a turn and it's got some like perforations in the pipe to like somewhat quiet it down, but it's more of a straight shot with those open. And then with those shut, then obviously the exhaust goes through all kinds of stuff and then out these side ones. So we need these valves because we still need that. We're still gonna do straight shot. And then also I need flanges on both sides. And then, well, since they're already there, we're gonna do the bellows originally. So I'm gonna be cutting these off right at the end of the bellows. And then we're gonna be doing V-bands on there and then going to what we want instead of what that is. There's an electronic actuator that goes through a rod and keeps the electronicals away from the heat, and then it just turns this rod, which turns that pretty much like a throttle body. This is just a servo or something in there, and then that activates that butterfly down in there. Kind of neat. So yeah, cut it all apart. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Is it beer time? Close enough. Well, I saved that. Right about there. Yeah, right. Oh. This exhaust probably costs like $15,000. Oh my gosh, that weighs like 5-6 pounds by itself. So I gotta reduce this thing down to like bare minimum. Something, I don't know. I gotta get this to go on to, I haven't even told you guys yet. This has gotta go on titanium. The pipe comes up right there, goes into the muffler right there. And you can see where that pipe comes in right down there. That's that pipe on the left there. I can't hold 1,200 things. And then just straight out. So when those butterflies open, that is basically almost like straight exhaust. And then that little exhaust, well, that must flow through all that stuff on the side there. Why are you pinching? Jackhole. Frickin' douchebag. I'm gonna go cut these off on the bandsaw. Just cause I can. You know, we gotta get hangers off here because we're gonna need the hangers. And we can start building stuff. Oakley dokley do. I got some parts harvested. So we got our bellows and our flanges, the original ones. Some stainless V-bands. I think these are all stainless. A couple of stainless, or no, these are titanium rods. That's gonna be for our exhaust hangers. And well, Oh, don't look at that. You don't pay for advertising, guys. Get out of here. Unless you do want to pay for advertising. This is a whole box of titaniums. If I remember correctly, each one of these titanium bends was like $180. One titanium V-band. I don't know if that's all titanium. These are for sure. You can tell just by weight. It's like about the weight of aluminum. And I like these. I ordered these clamps because they have that quick release on them. That is super nice. When you're pissing around, it exhausts a lot. I think maybe I was pushing $2,000 for this box of that stuff. A filler rod here. This is for the TIG welding. This is titanium. I think this was $200 or $220 for that tube of just 10 rods. It's nuts how much stuff is. So this complete package of titanium, darn near $3,000. I think it was right like $2,700, $2,750. And I don't even know if that was including shipping. So first order of business, you probably asking me why I'm putting V-bands on the end of these pipes right here when there's already a flange right here. Well, because this is, I think, stainless. Is this stainless? Here's some magnets. Oh, see, that's not a good stainless. If factory part, if it is stainless, if they're calling this stainless, this is 409 stainless. 409 is magnetic, and 409 does get rust and stuff on it. That's why I don't personally consider 409 stainless, because it doesn't act like stainless should act. See, like these heat shields are stainless. That bolt, obviously not. Yeah, stainless. Yeah, bellows, stainless. See, that weld isn't stainless. Well, 409 probably is what that is. But the bellows themselves are stainless. Here, stainless V-bands. See, no sticky. All the nut. All that bolt. So that bolt is probably 409. Or the fastener, that T-clamp, T-bolt in there. Titanium, no sticky. What I was saying, why we're going to do a V-band on the end here is because we have to go from stainless, what this is, to titanium. And while you can weld titanium to stainless, yes, but it's a fragile joint, and well, you shouldn't do that. So you take, and I do this with going from steel or stainless to aluminum or any, this is how you can cross over from one to the next. You take your stainless V-band, break it apart, and you take your titanium V-band, break that apart, and then you go from stainless to titanium. And then that's how you make that transition from stainless to whatever you're doing, or steel to something, or dissimilar metals to dissimilar metals. You get a V-band and you can do that transition and not mix metals. So we're going to do the stainless V-band on here, titanium on this side, and then go from there to titanium stuff. I cut the bellows off just because I wasn't happy. I want the higher quality, pure stainless, nice ones. And then, well, I forgot, hot dog down the hallway, because factories don't like using standard size exhaust. It's always a little bit different. They got to be a little bit different. But we got a good 1/8 inch gap there, so I'm gonna break out the expander and just open these up a little bit so they got a nice fit. And just the tip. And just for a minute, right, just a little bit, a little bit more. I don't even know if I'm doing anything yet. Yeah, there, look at nice, perfecto fit there. Oh, now we can weld those bellows on, weld the V-bands on, and then we can finally build an exhaust maybe. there. Just a really light tack on one side here. This is what they call autogenuous, whatever it is. Basically, you don't use filler. I'll try and show you guys. Right here is where I just stopped. I was showing I'm melting this lip from this edge all the way up to like where their weld was when they assembled this bellow. So I'm using this area as my filler. And I'm just coming up, melting that, and then going back and down to the pipe. And then forward and back. A bunch of J's. Kind of low on the gas coverage here. What's our gas flow? Well, maybe we're running out. And these have, if you saw that, my last video, that Mustang video, the Turbo Mustang. If not, go back and watch that video. It's about stuff like this, but on a LS Turbo Mustang Fox body supercar thing. Anyhow, these are the V-bands that I like to use, and these like with the quick release, and then also they have this lip in here, so when you have your two pipe sections and you stick these together, they lock in. Like you can turn the pipes yet, but they're not, they're centered. It centers itself up instead of like being able to move around. In that Mustang video you saw in that kit, whatever that 1.3 exhaust kit thing that guy got for that car, those V-bands were flat on both sides. So when you line them up, you had to they could sit off of each other like that. You had to physically like line them up to get them centered and then clamp down on the clamp. Get the V-bands with the ring in them. They're always centric, concentric. They're always even, equal centering, concentric stuff. Right there. Alright, and then just weld this V-band out. nice thing about putting these V-bands on, the hard to get to bolts and gasket and all that only has to get done one time. And I can bolt this up tight, because then now I can use a V-band for when I'm building the exhaust and it's going on and off and 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 on and off. Oh, and Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't. Like I said, I ain't no professional here. I'm just guy in the garage trying to get something done here. So let's go stick these in the cat. Maybe these two right away since we're up there. Here again, I hope I can get all these in. This one's gonna be a little tricky. I can't. How do I get in there? And then they got this spring right there. Feel like maybe I should have put these in before I put the cats in. So yeah, I dropped the bolt on this side, I dropped the bolt on this side, and then I dropped the magnet on this side. Hear them? I can't get to them. I was fishing around with a magnet, I couldn't get to nothing. So I gotta pull this pan, and then look at it, and then they're like a weird star or 6-point fastener on there. It looks like that. These have blue Loctite on them. Where's that other one? Oh, I see it. It's right here as well. There's the other bolt. So there's not enough room to get those bolts in from the other side, like these two. So I'm gonna have to do that one forward with the nut on the other side. That's not a terrible big deal, but it just it would have been nice to have all those bolts sticking out and just stick that nut on. On the easy side here, that's another thing nice about having the bolt stick through is it holds the gasket up for you. I know you guys can't see nothing. I probably bumped you out of the way. You're staring at the wall and don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to get a nut on. There goes the freaking washer. I dropped the washer now. I get the crow's foot on. So I got this backwards. I got the 3/8 on the crow's foot, and for whatever reason I ended up with this monster 1/2-inch drive on the driver. All right, there we go. We got both sides in, torqued down, ready to go. Now we can actually like start doing titanium. Oh boy. All right, we got 2 V-band clamps, and then I got that one titanium set. One half is gonna go on this side, the other half is gonna go on this side. You just gotta look which one is which. This one is the ring, so this one goes on this side. So this is the one drawback that happens, and it actually happens somewhat often, but the ring or the inset on this one, that step, won't clear the protruding ring on the stainless side. Like it's just off a little bit. And while for me it's easy enough, I just measure what this ring is across, the protruding like lip on this side, and then I go over to the lathe, throw this side in the lathe and just open that up until it fits on there. And that's what we're gonna do. Like I said, it's easier for me, not for everybody. I get that. Oh yeah, what is going on? Just forget you saw that. We'll go to the Atlas here in the corner. Let me go measure how big that ring is, and I'll come back here and open this up. All right, I got 326.55. I think I'm just gonna go to the 326.7. 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna go to 0.267, I think. Give it that 15 thou clearance. So we wanna make that ring 60 thousandths bigger, so we're only gonna come out 30 thousandths. I'm gonna do 20. I'm gonna go just shy of it. We'll go down. This should be like 60. No, this should be like 58 thou. So we should be just shy of that 0.265. 0.256. 10 thou. From where we are right now. That should be right about there. I was just thinking about it. I wonder that stainless maybe would expand more or faster than a titanium and maybe crack this. Maybe we should give this like 20 thousandths clearance. We're just gonna give it that extra clearance just in case that stainless expands more or faster than this. We don't want this getting stressed and then cracked from that stainless ring inside of it. So I'm gonna go just another straight up 10 thousandths. That should put us at 18 thousandths clearance. That should be enough, I would think. And let's see if she, oh yeah, she locks on good. That quick release was so nice. So very first pipes that I want to do are the big ones, the 3-inch that come up and come out the middle with the gates in them. I want to get those established and get those in and done. And then off of those, I'll go with the 2.5 and do whatever it is we want to do out there. The big straight ones, yeah, we want those to be free flowing straight out, make all the noise and stop. You guys remember that template made? Now we start looking at that. So we want to shoot for here with the 2 middle ones. Let's go grab the titanium, oh boy. How do we want to do? Do we just want to come off and angle and go that way right away and then out and then just have the valve right there? How big are them valves? Driver's side valve before, man, that's big. That's right up in there, almost at the transmission. The other trick is getting this valve into the titanium as well. That's gonna be another thing. How do we do that? Over here, so we gotta come straight a ways and then turn out here. For these valves, we gotta do something. These are stainless, like everything here, and this weighs a good 5 pounds, 7 pounds. So we gotta strip this down and make this all work in the titanium somehow. And I have no idea what I am doing. This is the first time I am attempting something like this. So we're gonna bring you guys along and you guys are gonna watch me struggle trying to like figure out how I'm gonna do this. Like I was saying, this is the first time I'm trying to do something here. So you're gonna watch me struggle with this. Yeah. Just don't mind that. So one of the things I notice about these valves is there's an adjustment on these end links for between the servo motor and the actual valve down here. So I'm thinking that's got to be adjusted into the right spot, I'm sure. And after I build all new titanium stuff, I got to get this arm back in the same exact spot. I am darn near positive. Pop that little clip over and you pull it down and out of that ball, the joint there, and then that ball comes off of there. And now you can see like this can go past where it was. So I want to get that centered up. I want to reference that, know where that is, so when I put this all back together I can get it darn near exactly right where it was, just so we don't get no lights or anything in the computer saying, hey, something isn't right here. Pop this joint off and up on the side, and I'm just going to trace where this arm is. So then later on when I get the new stuff built, I can always bring this servo back to here, stick it in the 3 bolts, get that lined up, get this arm lined up, and then hopefully just transfer it over to the new one and get this all adjusted so it sits in the same spot, like this, like it did here, like that. Yep, but this little tiny clip goes up through those two little holes and then just snaps on the bottom of that. Pretty ingenious little design. That's neat. I like that. And there is blue Loctite on there, but that's not like a normal blue. I think that's a we don't want you coming off blue. Both of these valves for both sides of the car are identical. They just have one mounted one way and then the other one mounted the other way. But the valve itself, there's no difference between each side. The only difference is there's not. Easily peasily. Now we got a bare naked valve. And all I want is this valve and the butterfly out of here. So I'm going to cut right up the back side, right alongside of this valve on both sides. And just remove that center chunk. We're going to cut right along here. I think it's close, but we should be good. As long as we don't hit that blade inside. That right there. That's what we want. Bop, bop, bop. That's better. You see there's like a lip down in there? And that's what that butterfly closes up against. Like it bottoms out on that lip. It doesn't bottom out on the bore like a carburetor or throttle body typically would. It goes up against that lip and slaps shut. And I think a couple of reasons for that. It just gives it a nice positive stop, but then also when it's closed all the time in exhaust, it doesn't get stuck with that carbon and stuff in there. It's closing against a flat plate, so it's easy for it to just open and shut. Another thing to note about these, when that's shut, I don't know if you can see, these do not seal up 100%. Well, you can't see on that side now. There is all kinds of like room for exhaust to get through there when these are shut. Cut more off of here. You got to cut along these spot welds and these spot welds. Like you get this valve completely out of here because we got to stick this all in a titanium piece. Flip it around and we'll do the other side here. I should just, yeah, pop right out of there. I got less of a butterfly here. Still a lot more cutting though. So this is the butterfly plate is not bolted on. I don't know, friction welded or something. It's just got that crease in it. So I don't know if they push on that and vibrate it and friction weld that. There's one on each side up in here too. This and just cut out right there a little bit. I'm gonna do this outside because it gets messy. I doubt GoPro's not gonna pick this up because it never picks anything up. But I ground down till you can see like the two different metals. You can actually see the shaft and the butterfly as two separate pieces. So hopefully this just comes right off. Yeah, there it goes. And yeah, we did grind down into the shaft just a little bit here, but that'll help line this up. So when it comes time to weld this plate back on, we just stick it back in that same spot, exactly where it was. and then just fill that in with weld. It should be just like nothing ever happened. But I gotta cut out all the way around this little round flange down in here now. So back to the bandsaw, because I can't get down in there with nothing else. Right now I got her up past there. That piece comes off, and then now this center section actually is like loose in there, so I should be able to turn that like so, and then just keep cutting with the saw all the way around, because I can't get this in a lathe to spin it to clean that up, so it's got to be that way. All right, now I cut all the way around on that little round sleeve that's in there. There is like a packing inside of here. You guys probably can't see it yet, but there's like a, almost like a, what do you call it? Kind of like that material that they make exhaust donuts out of, where it's like really heavy steel wool or something inside of it, and then they pack some crap in it. I don't know, but that's kind of what they have inside of these like bushings on the end. You see they must press it in from this back side and then put a plug in and weld that plug shut. We got to mount this in a titanium pipe, so we got to take this, stick it in a pipe down in here somehow. But then I can't weld this to this. You can weld steel and stainless steel to titanium, or vice versa, titanium to stainless or steel, but the weld gets super brittle. There's actually a special rod they use for it, AU318 or some weird rod that has like a high something content that's like a medium between titanium and steels or stainless, and that allows you to kind of weld it. But again, it is a super brittle weld, and we cannot have stuff cracking and breaking off and falling apart and stuff on here. So the plan I have devised, this is stainless, we're going to take a chunk out of here and I'm going to weld it to this valve. And well, I know what you're saying. You're like, well, why didn't you just leave a hunk of this on there? Well, you see, this is 3-inch. And if you weld, or if you leave that on there, when you come over to a 3-inch pipe, you can't stick that on the outside because it sits wrong. You can't get it, doesn't go over the top of it. And then also this valve will be sitting the thickness of the titanium of the new pipe. It sits that much further away, so the butterfly, when you go to weld it on the shaft, it would be up against that one wall. So you have to get the pipe that's the next size bigger, or even bigger yet, that would fit over that pipe. Maybe I should just explain this as I'm going. All right, I cut out that little chunk of plate. Now I just need to drill a hole in the middle for this to go through. And then that's gonna go all the way up and sit in there. This valve still, it's closer. See, it fits through that hole, but it doesn't sit quite deep enough. It sits about where it did before. So where it's hitting right now, it's hitting on these legs on both sides. So I'm going to bend these out just a little bit. Here again, just a little bit. Just so this valve sits a little bit deeper down in there. And then, yeah, stop. Look how far that sticks out now. We want it almost level with the pipe on the inside here. And that's where it was originally on the other one. You see this side sticks out just a little bit. Just perfect. Right there. That's where we want it. All right, get everything all dialed in, flat, aligned, everything. And I'm just going to do a little tack down in here. And actually, I'm going to weld a little bit and then let it cool and then weld a little bit, because I don't want to overheat that bushing that's inside of there. I just want it to sit like flat, nice. Make sure the valve still works. Yeah, right there. So just weld across there. Weld across there. All right, now to get that valve in the titanium here. Yeah, titanium. One of the issues here I see is this plate, the butterfly that goes in here is, well, look at it, it's like it kind of flops around in there even at full close. That's because this titanium pipe is quite a bit thinner. You can see like how thick that original valve pipe is. I'm going to cut off a sliver of this titanium like that big and then slit it and then put it inside of this pipe, so we're going to double up this wall. Alright, I got my little chunk that I'm going to shove inside, but I got to take a sliver out so it can compress and then fit inside of itself. Alright, now is it going to fit? Oh my gosh, I think I guessed right. I didn't do any measurements on that sliver, how much to take off of there. I just start going after her. So that should make this valve not fit down in there so nice, so it's got to be at an angle to fit. That's what we want. I got to do a little bit of weld just along this edge in a couple of spots, just a couple of spots for now when drilling this hole, because I'm going to drill out the hole to clear this bung now, or this flange or whatever, because we want to be able to drop this in the pipe and then put those clamps on, one of these on each side, to hold this valve to the titanium pipe. Yeah, that's the plan. Basically treat titanium as though it is temperamental stainless. So it drills like stainless, it welds pretty similar to stainless, everything pretty identical. There we go. Drilled through both of those parts of that sleeve thing, majigger. Now we got to figure out where to make that hole on the other side here. Right about there. This hole will have to be bigger eventually, like the size of this, but I'm waiting for titanium material to come in that's that big. Yeah, I didn't have any, had to order some. But now, which way does it go? I don't even know. This valve sit right there. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful that is. Yep. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. So this is one of the pipes that's going to have that valve in it, and that's going to sit right around there. Just want to get an idea. So let's just plan on cutting this one right here. So off of this V-band here, I think my first cut is going to be right here. That's going to be where the bend starts. And there's going to be not a 90, but like a 45. And that's going to go towards our tip here. Part of some kind of bend has to be welded on here. So we'll weld this 90 on and then cut it where we need it later after we figure out what's going on here. Because both sides are going to be the same, I figured, well, might as well cut and do the other side as well. So I got the V-band from both sides here. We're just going to weld this all together, so then I only got a back purge. Yep, back purge setup here, because titanium, you need to absolutely back purge it. That means stick, I have this wand, this is argon, that's going to go straight in the inside of the tube and fill up that whole chamber while you weld on the outside. Then there's no contaminants on the inside. You don't want contaminants. This hose goes back to my argon tank, and then I just have a little needle valve on the end and section of brake line. I drill a hole on the end of these test tubes and I'm able to stick that brake line up there, and now I can adjust how much gas is filling up this pipe. And typically you want everything like wipe it down with acetone, make sure everything is clean too. 10 cubic feet an hour, because then you got to make sure you're getting gas flow out of the torch as well. Time for a new pair of gloves situation it is. A little bit more blue centralized in the weld than I'd like, but it's welding nice though. And I'm gonna let this pipe cool and sit for a little while, get that heat out of it, and I'll come back and I'll continue on. We'll do the inside of this V-band joint right here. All right, we got these pipes thrown back in. I gotta use this pipe because this is the one with the valve in it, but I can cut here anywhere if I need to. I'm not sure if I do. I'm just gonna stick a 90 in where we're going, butt this pipe up against it but down a little bit, and then line that up with this bend on the pipe we're coming out with. Oh, that quick release is so nice. Right there, cut that. Try it out. Well, how about them bananas? And then if this pipe fits like it should, I already got that angle dialed in. I can just lay the next one in there from the other side and cut the same angle. It should be the same, symmetrical car. Yeah. So now this straight with the valve in it should go here. It's right there. I can't believe it. I just got to trim this 90 just a little bit, a little heavy on the inside. And it's right there. I stuck a couple of the clamps on, one on the valve just to see where the valve is sitting, and then another one here up this joint. That's the joint off of what we just cut. And actually, now that I put this pipe in here, it centers up beautifully. You see it's only under like the weight of itself that it's sitting in there. So once hangers are made up, that's sitting perfectly in its spot. Here's the marks. Go over on the bench, weld them up. Tack them, hurry, tack it. Neutral, right here, perfect. I like that fit up. That's good. Now starts the exciting part. We gotta take this 2.5 here. This 2.5. Pull exhaust out of there, out of that 3-inch. Yep. And we'll pull exhaust off and then come out here, do some loop-de-loop thing, and out there. That's gonna fit in there beautifully. Look how close that is. It's gonna be sweet. It's the next day. I forgot what we were doing. Yeah. So I figured right out of this corner is like where we gotta go. And I already cut up this little, this was just a bend, a 90, that I cut that shape out of. And that goes right up here. I'm pretty sure that's where we're gonna go. Cut out the inside, and then we can weld this on, and then weld another pipe on, and another one, and then stuff. Let's do it. We gotta trace around the inside here. There's our area that we're cutting out. How about them bananas? Not too bad following my mark. all the way around. Like, well, that guy there. Don't worry about that guy there. Ringy dingy ding. Out of state. Here, somebody. You want something? They're gonna tell you, like, vote for someone. Not welding this joint right now, so we're gonna don't lose the argons. Non-chlorinated for two reasons here. One, for you don't kill yourself, because heated chlorine, you know, is bad. The other reason is it's terrible for titanium. It doesn't like chlorination or something. It's the argon putting the flame out. That's how you can know that something is full of argons or inert gas. There's times with this titanium, it is so shiny, you can't even see it. Like, it's worse than a mirror. Like, it's just invisible almost, because it's so reflective. All right, I got that pipe back up in here. And now we just want to go down and around and around and around and back and out. Oh my gosh, days are going by. This is a big bar of titanium. I know it's titanium because somebody wrote titanium on it. I gotta throw this in a lathe, make some circles, because we gotta fit these little, I don't know what these are. These some kind of bushings. Like I said, it's almost like those donuts that have like metal wrapped in them. And then I don't know if there's, what's in there? Ceramic or something? Circles out of this. Get that. Well, or just lose it and we won't need it anymore. Press that in there. Weld the titanium to the pipe and then stop. Okie dokie. Got it thrown up here in the 3-jaw. We're probably just gonna do fast forward time lapse thing of this because it's boring. So yeah. 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 Let's start hammering this sucker. We get this started, yeah, we'll be able to just press that right in. Nice and square and flat. That'll be a nice fit. So that goes all the way in, and then we're gonna make a little cap to go over the top and then just a quick weld on this outside. So this one, the sleeve is ready. And that finish that you get on titanium is just awesome. Don't mind the chatter down at the bottom there, that doesn't matter. All right, cut out a couple of little discs. There we got back purge set up. Ends are all capped off, joints that are open are taped off, except for a couple up here, but that doesn't matter, that's uphill. We're gonna start with this lowest joint here, as soon as we get argon all filled up inside of this tube, and start welding this out. Okie dokie! And look at this. Like, you couldn't have planned that any better. Look at that. That's right freaking there. And then all I gotta do is copy this for the other side. Well, there we go. I think we got everything all that's where it's going to be, and that's what it's going to be. I think we are at the point of trying to get some kind of valve. That is going to be an ordeal. This is going to take all freaking day to get both of these valves set up, because everything has to be just perfect. So I'm getting ready to put a valve in one side. This is the driver's side exhaust system. This is the entire exhaust system for the driver's side, minus the valve. And that's, oh, and just a little bit of it. Where's that tip? Let's throw that on there. Okay, so you can see, well, it's close, but it's not touching. See, it's not touching anywhere. This is the entire driver's side, 3.9 pounds. The entire exhaust, the whole entire both sides exhaust is like 8 pounds. Look how much that would add. That would add a pound. So you're at 5 pounds per side with the valve for exhaust. 10 pounds altogether, whole exhaust system. We got to do is get this pocket in for the valve. So this valve would go in, and now it's sticking out right here. Well, I got to make that hole big enough to accept that, so we can weld that in, and then that's for our bushing and stuff that we made. Remember we made that? Yeah. Call that number. Tell them that you don't want to vote for stuff. So then I'm gonna use this valve to like center everything up, just so that butterfly makes contact with both walls of the pipe inside at the same time. Then you know everything is straight, centered, and where it's supposed to be. Now let's see if I can bend this up. Oh yeah. Before this butterfly comes down and makes contact with the inside wall of this pipe, it's gonna hit this. So like this sits in there like that, and that butterfly is gonna stop on there instead, like where they are inside of that pipe. And I actually make a slit on the outside of this pipe. It's gonna be on both sides. So when I stick this in here, I'm gonna weld this in here through that slit. So it's gonna weld this in, and do you remember we put that sleeve inside of here? It's gonna weld that sleeve and lock that sleeve in too. So those two sleeves, or that sleeve and this pipe, will be one piece, as well as this stuck in there. That bit. Safety squinters. Then we get rid of that burr. I don't know if you guys can even see. We got those two. I'm just gonna keep calling it a throttle plate, because that's, yeah. So this goes in here, and then the throttle plate goes on that shaft, and then it goes, oh, it's hot, bop, and she shuts. I don't want to weld everything. I want to get everything set up so I can just back purge once and get this whole thing all welded out in one more back purge. Okay, I skipped ahead. This is just boring drawing out stuff on CAD, but I have a flange here, and I test cut it a couple of times, and here we are on the valve itself. This was the second test cut, this plate. That got me all lined up for all the mount holes and this bracket here, and it covers the back side of it, keeps the heat off of it nice. So that was the second test cut I did. Well then, yeah, as you can see, I came back and I redesigned. There's a little bit of a leg on the bottom here, and then these are the 3 weld-on mounts for it. So hopefully that all comes out. I haven't tested this one yet, but I'm confident enough where We got the titanium on the table. Yep, ready to cut. That's 1/8 inch titanium plate. Test cut titanium number 1. Fire extinguisher ready? No. Don't go bad. Well, I'll be. There's that little bit of dross on there. Temporary bolts in here. So there's one of the valves, and that goes on the pipe like this somewhere. Yeah, they're not mirrored images. They make them all identical and then just situate them different so they fit. We got the valve in, all set up. Here's the electronic part of the valve. And now we have to, now I gotta somehow squeeze another valve right here. Right up against that one. So this valve here has got to fit right about there. So it's right below the other one. We are close. It's right there. This part, I gotta clock it down just a little bit because it's up in the air a little bit too high right now. So yeah, again, that's why I didn't fully weld this weld yet, because I didn't know exactly which way these had to go, because I knew they were tight here. You got a lot of room, but at the same time, you don't have a lot of room. I made a mark across and I just clocked it that little bit. I just took a guess at it. We're gonna see here if this is right. So it would be right about there. And oh yeah, she is, oh, perfect. She's tacking up, tack it, hurry up, tack it. Can you guys go grab the welder and tack that, please, while I hold it? Hurry up. Just right. Just throw a tack on that little bracket right there. Hurry up. Please, someone. Anybody, you guys are just sitting there. Just do it. Okay, I'll get the marker for frog snacks. So I can't tack this valve on yet because, well, when that gets tacked on, you see it goes over the top of the actual like metal butterfly plate valve. Right down in here, like this plate goes over the valve, and then I can't get that out, and I got to get that out yet because I need to weld up like freaking everything around here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 5 steps that all have to be done in perfect sequence. If you do one thing out of order, you get screw yourself. And there is all kinds of controversy about titanium color. Like there's actually like tons of charts out there showing perfectly silver is acceptable, light straw, darker straw is acceptable. You start getting into the blues and purples, they're acceptable depending on the situation, depending on the thing, the place, what they're used for. And then beyond that purple, like it starts turning like a gray, which silver and gray, like that, there's a difference, I guess. And then there's chalky white, which is like no gas coverage, and that is all non-acceptable. But like right in here, this blue, and even like there's just a tint of purple on this back side here, but then it's all this straw color right here, that's all perfectly acceptables. And you can see I'm getting that out of a small cup. How you work it. See how the flame goes out? Ooh. Mm-hmm. I think now I can go ahead and stick this weird bushing in here. Which way is... Looks like this was facing an exhaust before. This side is cleaner. So we'll put it same way. Oh, that fits so nice. So nice. And then that little disc cap washer deal-majigger goes right in the top there. And then no filler, just buzz around it. Get it up in a spot that's nice. Get that down in there. And when you barely see something, give it all the pedal. It made instant connection. That was awesome. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. See, just well, a little over the top of those two spots. This one is supposed to go here. That all feels good. Let's go throw it on, see if it fits. So I had this piece left over. I stuck this in here, and I traced around here. That's going to be our cut, so it's flush with this plate. Remember, that's the original template setting. And I made a mark here for giving her a couple of tack welds, and then if everything lines up, we can weld it all out. Barely enough room around everything here. That's fine. Can I open? Yup. Open. It's like a argon dam kind of a thing inside of the tube. Titanium, so you don't want to like hang it from it, you want to like cradle underneath the pipe. So you want that pipe to like sit in that hanger, otherwise for sure it's going to crack. Oh yeah, right there I think. Oh. So what did you guys miss? Well, not really nothing. I think last time I showed you guys, I was tacking these hangers on, and well, basically that's all I did is pull this out, back purge everything again. You got to fill everything up with gas. I welded these hangers on, rear ones and then front ones up here. Got 2 hangers on each side, and I made this bolt-in brace in the middle that goes in between both sides, because that's the hangers are on the outside, so there's like nothing in the middle, so it needs to be tied together, so it's like one unit basically across. I put in braces on the top for the little pipes, so they're not just out there flopping around by themselves, one on each side. So those are on, and yeah, that's pretty much the gist. You got the hangers in both sides, front and back. Everything is tightened up. You got the V-bands tightened up. You got stainless hardware and everything. Every nut, bolt, everything, and the valves. Everything is all stainless. So titanium and stainless. There she is. Well, now what? Well, I'm gonna take it down and we're gonna run it. We're gonna run it for quite a while. I want to go through a heat cycle with this. I'm gonna rev it up quite a bit, get it hot, and then let it cool. And I might even do that twice. Go through 2 heat cycles and then check everything over for cracks and see how stuff is acting and what's happening, because it's stuff. GoPro batteries are never charged up. Well, here we are, we're all done. All assembled, ready to go. I think. I ain't got no fasteners left over. There's exhaust, all nice and centered, and all the exiting tubes in the back end. I got engine panel back on underneath there. That's GoPro. That I don't know if that it already fell down once, and I'm just hopefully that stays. I don't know. Trying to get some videos. I'm taking a long fire extinguisher because, well, this is all plastic back in here everywhere. The whole back end is all plastic, and those pipes get hot. And while it's just a good idea, have stuff along just in case. You never know. I don't know. I guess, you know, gotta take it for a drive, because you gotta know if stuff rattles and shakes and falls off, cracks, breaks, does stuff. Yeah. So why don't we do that? Go for a ride. Let's do this stuff. I stopped. We got a little bit of smoke coming out of that engine vent. I think it's just the new cats. New cats, new exhaust. Oh wait, maybe I can pick it up right there. Yeah, in that sun you can kind of see. It's like a fiberglass smell. That's from those new Cadillac converters with that wrap that's on them. Exhaust is still there. And yeah, there ain't no fires yet. But plastic actually isn't that warm. That's what I was worried about the most, is this plastic getting super hot, where that exhaust is basically kind of like trapped inside of a box there, but it's doing all right. Man, these cars, that's freaking awesome car. Amazing to drive this thing. Jasper, what do you think? Huh? What do you think, Jasper? Yeah, good boy. Yeah, hopefully that smoke goes away a little bit. I think it will. It's gotta, because whatever's there can't burn forever, right? At least there's no fires yet. That was like half throttle. Just insane how smooth it is. Like, you can't even feel the shifts. I don't know how it does that. You can't feel the shifts. It is smooth. It is just a constant pull. And man, does it sound freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. He just wanted the exhaust because it sounds amazing, and I don't blame him. Oh wait, bumped the button. Fan was going. So I guess, yeah, exhaust works, doesn't rattle, doesn't bang, doesn't fall apart. All the valves work like they're supposed to. Check engine light staying off. Everything is good. I guess we better take her back before we run out of gas. I already used up a quarter tank. Oops. I don't even know how that happened. I didn't even go anywhere. Maybe I did put some miles on. Oops. Shh, don't tell them. You'll never know. It just sounds so awesome. I just want to keep driving. I can't help it. Well, I have to, because I gotta get home. We just happen to be like 10 miles away somehow. Don't know how that happened. Yeah, you know how that happened. I was trying to find a secluded road to like give you guys some exhaust videos. Just freaking houses and people everywhere. It's hard to find a nice road that there isn't just everybody on. I might have to sell everything I own to get one of these. Is that smart? No. Never said anything I did was smart. It's worth it. You don't live forever. You can sleep in a car, but you can't drive a house. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. I surely did. This freaking car is amazing. I'm really considering selling everything, get one. Maybe I'll just steal this one and I already got the keys for it. All I'd have to do is just disappear. Then there wouldn't be no videos anymore. So anyhow, please hit that like and subscribe. Come back and watch the next one. You never know. Just never know what it's gonna be. Oh, take fire extinguisher out here. She ain't gonna start on fire anymore, I don't think. Beer 30, America. Thanks for watching, everybody.